I'll keep you shielded!
For decades, the Moher elves, exiled from Finan Mir, have roamed Io in search of a new home. In Northander, they were promised lands of their own, but as the Mage Rebellion arose, they were quickly forgotten. Now, years later, they have taken shelter in a nomadic settlement in Leafshade, a dense, dangerous jungle amidst the no-man's land between Utran and Wulfgar.
All right. The Moorhere settlement should be a little further to the north.
How long have the Moorhere been living here?
Well, they left Finan Mir about 30 years ago, and they were sent to settle here 8 years after their arrival. So that's 22 years now.
Quite long, considering Leafshade was just meant to be a stopover.
I'm sure they feel the same way. But then again, I understand why finding a new home for fugitive elves wasn't on top of the Crown's priority list after the Mage Wars broke out.
All right then, what's the plan?
Well, I suggest we try to find their settlement first and then talk to their scryers. They're the ones who make the decisions.
Good. Then lead the way.
As you want.
You got it.
What is it?
Fair enough. Let's do this.
A fine plan. Fine.
Whatever's necessary. Will
Sounds
do.
like a plan. All right, here goes nothing.
Let's see what we can do.
You'll regret this.
Huh?
As you want.
Is this really necessary?
Yes, of course.
That way?
This way, right?
You read my mind. Will do.
That's the way.
Fine plan.
Sure.
What's next?
You got it.
Sure.
I need more time.
Got it. Let's see.
Sure. That way? Sounds like a plan.
All right.
What is it?
This way, right?
Let me know what you need.
Blasted armor.
What do we need?
Here we go.
Everything has an end.
You got it.
Understood.
Fine.
Get ready.
Let's see what we can do.
Now would you look at that?
As you want.
Got it.
That way?
You have my attention.
Yes?
We should get moving.
Will do. Interesting.
That's the way.
As you require.
Whatever's necessary.
Yes?
All right, why not? Something you need?
Sure. Here we go.
Let's see.
That way?
Corporal?
Yes?
Sounds like a plan.
A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want? If you're looking for shelter, you've come to the wrong place.
Who are you people? This is elven territory, isn't it?
Huh. Elven territory, my arse. Just because the Moor here were allowed to put up their little town here doesn't mean they own the whole jungle. As for who we are, if you don't know, then you probably don't have any business here.
Can you let us in?
As I said, no. This isn't a roadside inn. Now sod off.
Never mind. We'll be off. Yes?
You got it.
Yes, of course.
Now would you look at that?
Sounds like a plan. All right.
A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want?
Never mind. We'll be off.
Sure.
Blasted armor.
Just give the word.
That's the way.
Got it.
A fine plan.
A traveler. Don't get many.
Never mind.
Fine.
This way, right?
Will do.
Yes, of course. As you want.
Understood.
Fine.
That way?
You'll regret this.
Huh?
Focus.
Let us make this quick.
Focus.
Is this really necessary? Oh.
I need help over here.
Interesting. Now would you look at that?
You have my attention.
Sure.
More fighting. Does this never end? Sure.
They will fall.
I will do as I must.
Will do.
Blasted armor.
What is it?
Got it.
Sounds like a plan.
Corporal?
All right.
Let us make this quick.
You got it. Sounds like a plan.
Danger up ahead! That's the way. This way, right?
Whatever's necessary.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Fine.
That way?
I need help over here.
Let me know what you need.
You read my mind.
What is it?
I need help over here.
So, what's the plan?
Yes? Interesting.
Made your peace.
Will do.
Good.
Sure. That way?
All right, why not?
Sounds like a plan.
Not now!
You got it.
I'll keep you shielded!
Yes. Let me see.
All right, here goes nothing.
we go.
More fighting. Does this never end?
Sounds like a plan.
A fine plan.
That way?
Wait.
As you want.
Sure. You got it.
Blasted armor.
Yes, of course. Fine.
Get ready!
This way, right?
Understood.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Sure.
All right.
Fine.
All right, here goes nothing.
Corporal?
A fine plan.
Sounds like a plan.
They will fall.
Yes?
Now would you look at that? Got it.
As you want.
That way?
Yes, of course.
Danger up ahead!
Decide. Now.
Here we go.
What's next?
Sounds like a plan.
Interesting.
Huh?
Sure.
As you
That's
want.
the way. Sure.
A fine plan.
You got it. That way?
Blasted armor.
Sounds like a plan. Uh-huh.
Salga Sevrante.
Fine.
Sure. Get ready!
Let's see what we can do.
All right, here goes nothing. Fair enough. Let's do this.
You read my mind. What do we need?
Something you need?
Understood. Let's see.
A fine plan.
This way, right?
Everything has an end.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, why not?
I'll keep you shielded.
As you want.
Whatever's necessary.
I need help over here.
You read my mind.
Fine.
You'll regret this.
You got it.
Your struggle is pointless.
I'll take a look.
Is this really necessary?
I need help over here.
Yes?
Huh?
Yes, of course.
That's the way?
Fine.
Will do.
Blasted armor.
Sure.
Sure.
They will fall.
I need help over here.
Just give the word. That way?
You'll regret this.
Interesting.
Yes? This way, right?
Sounds like a plan.
Blasted armor.
Sure. You got it. Get ready. A treant. Ellen's reigns.
Blazes! What has happened to it?
Mind-clouded. Dark fog. Dying. Please, you. Run. Run now.
Tahar, I don't like how it's looking at us. I think we should leave. Alright, so what the blazes was that? Why did it attack us?
The corruption. It must have taken hold of it.
But that's odd. I get how this frenzy could be an elf's reaction to the bloodburn. But how likely is it that a treant reacts the same way? Not to mention all the animals.
Nihav's hammer. I was beginning to think these discussions were never going to end.
No argument there. Let's go talk to the soldiers and see if they let us into their territory to find that proof. Understood.
As you want.
That's the way.
Got it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
We should get moving.
Corporal?
Corporal?
That way?
All right. Why not?
Got it.
More fighting. Does this never end?
A fine plan.
Understood.
Fine.
Will do.
As you require.
You read my mind.
So, what's the plan?
What is it?
Sure.
Yes? I'll take a look.
Yes?
Interesting. Got it. Now would you look at that?
We should get moving.
As you want.
Yes?
Something you need?
Yes, of course. Let us make this quick.
Interesting. Interesting.
A fine plan.
Interesting.
This way, right?
All right, here goes nothing. I need help over here.
I need more time.
Uh-huh. Get ready!
Whatever's necessary.
Let me know what you need.
Blasted armor.
All right.
What Pilskin?
Is this really necessary?
You have my attention. Fine.
That's the way.
Sounds like a plan.
Danger up ahead!
Understood.
Let's see what we can do.
Is this the village?
Should be. And don't ask me why there's no one guarding the entrance.
Let's take a look around. Yes?
Here we go.
I need help over here.
Alright, why not?
Can't believe we're still having this discussion. Tell me, Arlen, where was Ellen in all those years when our people were on the run? Just face it, she never helped us. None of the Guardians did.
Well, maybe they would have if it weren't for heretics like you. We are Ellen's children, all of us.
We are the children of our mothers and our fathers, for heck's sake. If you are so pious, then why did you leave Finn and Mir in the first place? What we need is rationality and reason, not praying to the gods that have left us.
Heresy, Vardant. This is heresy.
Let's see.
Huh? What is it? Who are you?
Just a traveler. Don't mind me.
Huh? An Evran? What are you doing here?
What are these two arguing about?
I don't see why that concerns you. How did you get in here anyway? Get lost.
Huh?
Watch your tongue, boy. I was already a scryer when you were still sucking on your mother's teat.
That's your argument?
Yes. I'm tired of seeing you spit on our traditions, spit on everything that has made our culture into what it once was. Just look at where we stand, Varden. We're refugees in a makeshift town in a bloody rainforest. And we're dying for heck's sake. We're pathetic. But instead of facing the truth, we've turned our backs on the only one who still cares for us, Ellen.
Yes?
An Everan, aren't you? It's been a while since we got visitors. If you don't count those soldiers, that is.
Well, the short version is, we're looking for allies to end the Bloodburn.
A lofty goal. Are you sure you came to the right place, though? To us, the Moor here.
Why wouldn't I?
I just thought the Finn and Mere with their treants and gilded armors would have been a better option. We are renegades. Outcast. But I guess that wasn't too hard to tell from the look of this place, was it? Be that as it may, best you talk to Finrior and Merilith, the first and second scryer. Maybe they'll listen to you once they're done bickering.
Interesting.
Watch your tongue, boy. I was already a scryer when you were still sucking on your mother's teat.
That's your argument?
Yes. I'm tired of seeing you spit on our traditions, spit on everything that has made our culture into what it once was. Just look at where we stand, Varden. We're refugees in a
Everan, aren't you? It's been a while since we got visitors. If you don't count those soldiers, that is.
We've turned our backs on the only one who still cares for us, Ellen.
Will do. Let's see.
Another human? Well, isn't that great?
We're just...
No, say no more. I know why you're here. Looking for some nice elven kin to enhance your bloodline, aren't you?
What?
Yes, that's what I thought. Well, why don't you join your fellow crossbreeders in the Wolfgar lands? There you can copulate all you want. Now sod off.
Now would you look at that?
Get away from me, you filth!
You know how to bargain, don't you?
What do we need?
What's your Salangar, a pure blood. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any better.
Not what I'd call myself. I haven't been in Finn and Mir for 8 years.
Is that so? Well, who am I to judge? Who let you in?
There weren't any guards.
What? Great. Just great. This is getting better and better. But please, forgive my manners. I'm Varden Merilith, second scryer of Lathwain. Who are you? And what do you want? Are you with the soldiers?
Soldiers?
The army folk. But if you have to ask, I suppose you're on your own. Tell me then, what brings you here?
That's a long story.
So you're the corporal from Lianan? Well, that's a surprise. I know the story, and once more I would like to apologize for what Scryer Elion did. She should not have opened fire. And also, I would like to express my admiration for your courage. I know you refused to carry out the order your general gave you.
How?
A scout observed the conversation you had with that man. Either way, your story sounds bizarre, but I don't think you are lying. And after the events in Lianan, it's only fair if we help you now, to make up for it. Not to mention the fact that the bloodburn needs to be stopped.
So you'll provide us with troops?
It's not that simple. I have to bring up the matter before the other scryers, and they all have to agree. But not now. We currently have our own sack of problems to deal with.
Are you the leader of this place?
One of them, yes. I'm the second scryer, and the Moorhere Council is made up of 6 scryers in total. 7, actually, but our eldest passed away recently. Which complicates the decision-making, as you can imagine.
What problems do you have?
The short version? Leafshade has been struck by the bloodburn. Elves and animals are affected, and for some reason it has a different effect on us than it has on your race. It corrupts us.
Corrupts?
Drives us mad. And if that weren't enough, the council can't decide on a course of action. Pathetic, isn't it? People are dying, but all we do is bicker.
Where do you and Finrior disagree?
Oh, that's simple. Finrior claims that the corruption has nothing to do with the bloodburn, but is a curse of the Guardians. Of Ellen, to be precise.
I take it you have a different view on that.
I do. The Guardians are gone. That is common knowledge. I don't know if they are preparing for the return of Aeonir, as the purity of light claims, but I know that this is a fact we have to deal with.
So where do you think this corruption comes from?
As I said, I think it's just how we elves react to the bloodburn.
How many of you are affected?
Not as many as in your kind. 1 in 10, maybe. And for some reason the infection only spreads outside the city borders.
As I said, I'm trying to find a cure for the bloodburn. Maybe I might be able to help.
You want this alliance to happen as quick as possible, don't you? Well, yes, maybe your knowledge about the bloodburn could indeed help us. Give me a moment to think this through, will you? There are some things I need to consider.
All right. Interesting. We should probably talk to the other scryer too. Let's see.
Armors and shields, everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords.
even believe we're still having this childish conversation. We should be out there, finding a solution, praying to Ellen for her forgiveness.
Yes, that would help, wouldn't it?
Let me see.
Varden, please, would you mind leaving these travelers alone with your obscure theories?
Yes, sure, Arlen. Just keep on acting as if the Bloodburn isn't a threat. Blazes, wake up! We need to face the facts or we will go down. It's as simple as that.
Facts? There aren't any facts. There's no evidence that the Bloodburn is related to the— What? Who are you? Who let you in?
The gate was unguarded.
Really? Next thing you know, this place is being overrun by undead because the guards have all gathered to hear us bicker. You're from Gravefell, aren't you? I recognize that accent. I'm Arlen Finriar, first scryer of this settlement. What do you want?
I'm looking for allies, but let me start from the beginning.
Ah, so you're Isamo Tahar's child. Well, you're lucky, I believe, that the Guardians have given us all a free will. I can see that you're nothing like your father, and it's true that the Bloodburn has to be ended. I can agree with those crazy cultists on that much.
So you're going to help us?
I would if I could, but as you may have gathered by now, we have our own battle to fight here. Ellen has cursed us.
Who is the other elf? The one you were arguing with?
A misguided fool, and sadly one with a very influential father, who made him the second scryer of this township.
Does this town have a name?
It does. Lathwain, which roughly translates as respite.
Respite? Sounds kind of temporary.
Well, it is. I don't know how familiar you are with our history, but after the Finnenmere exiled us, we were promised lands by the Queen. Then the Mage Wars came, and understandably our promised home wasn't of importance anymore.
That incident in Leonon won't make the Lord Marshal more sympathetic to your cause. You broke the White Mist Treaty.
Yes, and it was a horrible mistake. But the people were scared, particularly because Merilith did an excellent job at instilling fear and telling them that our little problem could be fixed by sending a group of scholars into Northander territory. And what good did it do? Nothing. You'd think that this failure would have shown the Moria how incapable Merilith is as a leader, but sadly, it didn't.
This looks like a nice enough place, though.
Well, save for the undead roaming through the forests and attacking us each night, yes.
I see. So Leafshade is only a stopover?
Yes. We will find our true home someday. I'm sure of that.
Ellen has cursed you?
Yes. Our lands are withering, and every 1 in 10 elves loses his mind. Their eyes turn black, they salivate like animals, and attack everything in sight.
And you think Ellen has inflicted this curse upon you?
I know. You see, since we Moria left Finnenmere, more and more of our people have fallen away from our faith. Some even blame the Guardians for our exile. I don't know how familiar you are with the history of our people, but briefly put, we were cast out of the Finnenmere Empire after we expressed doubts about the Elven Council.
So they exiled you? Yes, I know the story.
Exactly. They simply cast us out like an unwanted child. As you can imagine, the years we spent on the road searching for a new home were strenuous. And as a result of that, more and more of our people lost faith in the Guardians, which is ironic, since our faith was one of the reasons we were cast out in the first place.
Well, you can't deny that the Guardians have become weaker.
That is true. But have you ever wondered why?
I guess you have?
Yes, indeed. They have withdrawn from this world because people have stopped believing. It has always been our belief, our unwavering faith, that had made them strong. Without it, there simply is no reason for them to care anymore.
Pardon me, but that's nonsense. You're assuming the Guardians behave like little children, take away their sweets, and they run off crying or start throwing tantrums.
It's not that simple. But I doubt this is the right time for a theological discussion.
Probably not.
And what does all this have to do with the corruption?
Isn't it obvious? It's Ellen's punishment for us turning our backs on her.
You mean...
Yes. Ellen has protected our kind for millennia. And now, we have betrayed her. This is her punishment.
If it is a curse by Ellen, how can it be cured?
Of course. Despite all we have done, Ellen still considers us her children. What she wants is for us to remember her, to return to our true faith. In other words, it is a trial. All we need to do is to trust in Ellen's guidance. Then we will find a way to lift the curse.
Isn't it more likely that this is simply the way elves react to the bloodburn?
No. Although rare, there have been cases of bloodburn among the Moria too, and they display exactly the same symptoms as humans. Varden Merilith simply likes to ignore that because it doesn't fit into his nice little theory. Also, why does it only occur in Leafshade, and only outside the city walls? The plague doesn't know borders.
If you're the first scryer, why do you need Merilith's approval?
Because that's how the Moria law demands it. The Council has to come to a mutual agreement, otherwise we cannot take action.
What do the other scryers think about that? How many are there?
4. 2 of them are with me, 2 with Merilith. You see the problem.
If we help you lift this curse, would you be willing to ally yourselves with us?
Well, the bloodburn is a scourge for all races, so, yes. Should you help us, I could take up the matter with the other scryers.
Now what?
Well, if there's any way to get their support, it's by helping them cure this corruption.
What's next?
All right, this is pointless. Does your offer still stand? An outsider who isn't dependent on the Council's approval might be just what we need.
I'm happy to assist.
You have no idea how good it is to hear you say that. Come, let's talk somewhere else. I've had enough shouting for today.
Understood.
That's better. Ellen's reigns. Isn't it incredible how this fool is unwilling to see reason?
It is.
Either way, all the better you're here. Let's discuss how we proceed. What we need above all is proof to convince Merilith. As long as he insists on brewing away that curse with just enough alchemy, we cannot take any real action.
What kind of proof did you have in mind?
That remains to be seen. First of all, scout Leafshade's surroundings. The curse seems to limit itself to the outskirts of our town. I will mark the place on your map where the activity has been most extreme. Secondly, there's a human military outpost nearby. To investigate,
you'll need to ask for permission to cross their borders. After the disaster in Leonon, the last thing we want is another breach of our treaty.
If the jungle is corrupted, isn't it dangerous for us to scout it?
No. The infection doesn't happen instantaneously. If you were to stay longer, say 2 or 3 days, it might get you. But for now, you're safe.
Huh? As you want. Yes, of course.
Blasted armor.
Understood.
Yes?
Sure.
Oh, do you smell that?
Yeah, like carrion.
And the water has the same color as the blisters on the corrupted.
If you ask me, we just found the cause of this plague. And it's definitely not a curse.
Sure, will do.
A fine plan.
Huh. A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want? If you're looking for shelter, you've come to the wrong place.
Can you let us in?
As I said, no. This isn't a roadside inn. Now sod off.
Wait, not so fast. The Moir sent us. It's important.
The Moir, huh? Alright, fine. Come in, but make it quick. We already have visitors, and they aren't too fond of your employers.
Don't you think these soldiers will recognize you?
I doubt it. Even if they know General Noria is looking for me, they wouldn't know my face.
Fine.
You should rethink your position, old man. The light doesn't show mercy on those who betray it.
Well, maybe the light can show you the way out of my bloody camp instead.
You don't know who you're messing with.
Oh, I think I do. I'm messing with a bunch of renegade cutthroats who think they can walk into a camp of the Royal Army and make demands just because their lunatic leader told you so. So, one more time for the slow ones among us. We won't attack those elves. On the contrary, if you do as much as lay a finger on them, you'll have to deal with us too. Are we clear?
You...
Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
who exactly are you?
Just a traveler. I'm working for the Moor here.
Ah, I see. Best you talk to Sergeant Copper, then.
Why put up an outpost in the middle of the jungle?
Pardon my tongue, but that's none of your business.
Who are those mercenaries in your camp? They don't look like Nortander soldiers.
Well observed. They are Bane, purity fanatics. And no, I have no fucking clue why Sergeant Copper let them in the first place.
Alright, I'll be off. Thank you for your help.
Sure.
What do we need? Yes?
Huh?
Who are you people? Nortander soldiers?
Aye, sure. We're humble servants of the Queen. Look, friend, I know what you are. A defiler. And if we weren't in the camp of that fucking coward right now, this conversation would go down a tad differently. So do yourself a favor and sod off before things change. 'Cause they will.
I think these are Bane. Purity fanatics. The ones Clara warned us about.
I heard that.
If you're not soldiers, what are you doing in this camp?
Business.
I'll leave you be. What's next? Got it. Understood.
Huh?